So let's say that somebody's been giving you a hard time, and so you've created and created and created recently really strong components. You've added them to your vortex. And now you've meditated. You know, when you meditate, you release thoughts, so you're in the vortex. Or you've gone on a rampage of appreciation, you're in the vortex. You stop doing those things that you do that kept you out of the vortex, and when you stop doing those things you do that kept you out of the vortex brings you in, and when you're in there, oh, it is so sweet. Your body feels good, your mind is clear, it's evident to others around you, you're thriving. But then, even inside the vortex, the phone rings. You know who it is. Or something happens. And as you give your attention to this subject that is of a different vibrational frequency than the vortex spits you out. Because only cooperative components can abide. So you get the idea that we want you to release your resistance so that the vortex can take you in. But what happens if the vortex spits you out? Is it a problem? No. Because you came forth into this physical experience understanding that the creative process is 3 steps. Step 1, ask. And you need contrast to do that. If you don't have a variety to choose from, you have no way of asking. So step 1 is important. And step 1 happens in the majority of cases when you are outside of the vortex. You know what you don't want, you ask for what you do want. Step 2 is not your job. That's the job of source. That's the job of your inner being. That's the job of law of attraction. That's the job of the vortex. Step 2 is when you ask, it is given every single time. And it's not just given. The vortex and the source within you becomes the equivalent of all that you've been asking for. So step 2 is not your work. And step 1, you don't have to work at because the contrast just causes you to ask. Step 3 is your work. And what is step 3? Step 3 is to be conscious and aware of the way you feel, reaching for the best feeling thought you can find from wherever you are, so that you will allow the vortex to take you in. Allow your entry into the vortex. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be eagerly aware of this vortex of creation. But we would not freak out when we're having a step 1 moment. When you're having a step 1 moment, understand your relationship to the vortex. Say to yourself, I'm ornery as I can be as I'm having this step 1 moment, but the good news is I'm putting things in the vortex. In other words, at least be aware that that's what you're doing. And then say, and I know the happy old vortex is over there just spinning around, gathering all the cooperative components, but for now I intend to just complain. Because in my complaining, I'm adding more to the vortex. That's my justification. And we say, yes, you are. And we do want you to be easy when you're not in the vortex, but we want you to be in the vortex. And you don't need to worry. There is enough contrast that surrounds you that you'll have plenty of step 1 opportunities. Let your dominant intent be to be in the vicinity of the vortex. Let this loving, God-force vortex bring you in. Let yourself be all that you have become. That's what will happen when you have your, what you call your death experience. We call it croaking. We try to be as disrespectful as we can of death, since there isn't any. You're always alive, sometimes physically focused. And as you came into this physical experience, it was your intention to let the contrast inspire the expansion. But do you know what the most exhilarating thing that you were looking forward to in this expression of physical life? Do you know what you were really wanting? Do you know the reason that you keep coming forth into the physical experience? Because there is nothing more delicious than to have expanded and held yourself apart from it for a little bit and then release the resistance and let yourself go. That's the river of life that you want to live. You want to continually be in this place where you're reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing. And you don't need to worry about it. It will ever be thus. We just think that when you know who you are, and you know about the vortex, and you know about the laws of the universe, and you know about your emotional guidance system, and you know you can direct your own thoughts, and you can practice by feeling the thought that doesn't feel good, and then feeling the thought that feels better, and then feeling the thought that feels better still. When you become aware of the laws of the universe and your place in it, it's like having your hands in the most creative of clay. And then life is so good, just like you knew it would be. So do you get it? Can you feel this assembling of cooperative components? Can you feel the doneness of what you've asked for? Do you know your veritable fortune, the bodily conditions that you seek, your lovers, all things that you're asking for have already been gathered and are lined up, waiting for you to enter the vortex where you have visual awareness, sensual awareness of them. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. You got to be in the vortex in order to see the combining and cooperative components. Do you understand? So if you are in despair or fear, even though what you want has gathered, you're so far from it you can't see it. That's why you don't believe it. You don't see any evidence of it. If you're angry, you're still not seeing it. Probably wanting it more, but still not seeing it. When you're in frustration or overwhelmment, you're not in the vortex. You're not allowing yourself full vision or manifestation. You're not allowing it to unfold into your experience. When you get into hope, now you're in the vicinity. When you are feeling hopeful about something, even though you haven't seen it, that means you've released enough resistance. And in the releasing of resistance, you are cooperating enough vibrationally that the vortex can bring you in. You see how it works? The vortex is bringing in all cooperative components. But if you're over there beating the drum of a different vibration, then you're not a cooperative component, and you can't be someone who comes into vibrational alignment with your own creation. You're a holdout of your own creation. And what's so interesting about that is that if life hadn't caused you to create it, you wouldn't even notice through negative emotion that you're not there. In other words, if you hadn't expanded, not going wouldn't feel uncomfortable. So when you feel negative emotion, it always means two things. First, you've created one whopping, swirling vortex, and you're not going. Oh, you're going. You're just going to wait till you croak, maybe, to go. We don't think you should have to croak to get in the vortex. We think that you should be able to release enough resistance by focusing upon enough good feeling things, by giving yourself and others the benefit of the doubt, by giving yourself a break, by looking for reasons to praise and reasons to appreciate rather than reasons to criticize and reasons to poke and probe. When you release or relax your resistance, the vortex will bring you in, and then your heart will soar, your mind will clear, your path of creation will unfold, and then you will be living the life you intended when you came forth into this physical body. That's what you came for. Just get in the vortex. We could have had a very short seminar today, couldn't we? Hello, it's nice to see you. You are lovely people. You are worthy. The source within you adores you. You are pure positive energy. Get in the vortex. Have a nice day. Goodbye. It's really all you needed to hear. And then someone says, wait, don't go. What's the vortex? Well, the vortex is the future you that you've created through sifting through the data of life. Have a nice day. Goodbye. You say, wait. The vortex is a future me. Well, how do I catch up with the future me? We say, by focusing in the direction of what feels good. Have a nice day. Goodbye. And you say, wait. How do I know? How do I know what feels good? And we say, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. You know what feels good and what doesn't feel good. You know what feels better. You know what thoughts bliss you out and what thoughts bum you out. You know which friends you like to spend time with and which friends you don't. You know what conversations you want to have with each other and what conversations you don't want to have. You know, you can tell what you're leaning to, what feels good and what doesn't. Your guidance system is active within you, you see. And something that you all know that is a really wonderful thing to acknowledge, you know who you are. You know that you're source energy in physical bodies. You know that you're creators. You know that you have access to the energy that creates worlds flowing through you. You know that you have an emotional guidance system. You know that your emotions indicate your relationship with who you really are. You know about this gap and you know what to do about it. You know the vortex is a reality. You've been there, you've experienced it, and you know what it feels like when it spits you out, but most important, you know how to get back in. You know everything you need to know in order to not get the stuff done you think you need to do, but to live the joyous life that you came here to live. Nothing's broken. Nothing's incomplete. You didn't come here to paint another painting or to build another empire. You didn't come here to educate someone about something that they don't know. You didn't come to take segments of the population and bring them into the light. You didn't come to fix a broken world. It isn't broken, and you knew it when you came. You came for the fun of getting to experience contrast and to feel ideas born within you that took you breathtakingly beyond where you were standing at the time. You came for the thrill of learning how to focus in the direction of what feels good. You came for the thrill of doing that, and you came for the thrill of the emotional movement of moving into lighter, softer, less resistant energy. You came for the ride on the river. You came for the thrill of alignment. And you came to do it again and again. You remember the amusement park? You remember that really fun ride? Esther liked the big wooden roller coaster. First time she rode it, it was too scary to stand. Second time, it was not so scary. Third time was really fun. So she just got in line and wrote it again, and 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 got in line and wrote it again, got in line and wrote it again. Her mother said, "Aren't you tired of that?" No. Once I got over being afraid, it thrills me every time. Fortunately, they only stayed one day. Thrilling and thrilling and thrilling and thrilling to write it again and again and again. You are a remarkable group of deliberate creators who have patiently poured with us through focus wheels. You have watched people come into alignment, and you've felt their movement in your own solar plexus. We've noticed you did. You have come to new, keener awareness of who you are. You are hearing and seeing and sensing through an exaggerated state of being. Together, we have managed to open a vortex into creation that is going to serve you in a remarkable way, because of this gathering, even though even here in this remarkable gathering where we hold you in the palm of our hand mostly, the vortex has occasionally, even here in this room, spit you out a bit. But you have been in the vortex for a longer period of time than is normal for anyone. Which means your future experiences, your immediate future, is transformed from what it would have been if you had not been here. So your homework, there isn't any of that. No, there is. Your homework is to watch for the evidence of your improved vibrational vantage point. Your point of attraction has shifted. It is our promise to you. And the manifestations will indicate it in your dreams and in what you want to call your real life experience. And meanwhile, we want you to know that while you are working on shoring up and improving your real life experience, you have contributed mightily to the vortex of creation that will serve generations to come. This gathering is because we don't think you should have to wait until you are part of the future generation in order to experience the benefit of what you are living. We don't think you should have to croak to get into the vortex. We think that you now know how to do it. We are there for you and calling you. Are we available to you? And the answer is yes. You will hear some of what we've said on the recordings if you hear them again. And you will notice that we've put things for the future you on those recordings. So enjoy the unfolding of that which is you, and feel our unequivocal, indescribable appreciation for your willingness to come and play this contrasting game on planet Earth of taking life and thought and all that is beyond that which it has been before. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain eternally, blissfully incomplete.